full time doing this stuff now, right?
Yeah, yeah, I am. It's been a while. I started doing it. I was still working a day job back in 2020 during the pandemic. I kind of started right there dipping my toes in the water, and then it kind of started picking up for me more in 21, and it started on TikTok, and that's where I saw Hawk and got familiar with the creators over there, and it didn't seem like I know Hawk's all too familiar with this, but it's just the whole community guideline violations
That's a mess,
on
man.
it's
Yeah.
such a mess that I kind
Yeah.
of when my YouTube channel took off, I just sort of gravitated toward it just because I got tired of the TikTok, algorithm and all the dealing with that. But I still watch it every day. I'm still reposting videos and I'm still following my favorite creators on there. There's a good community of people, and I like a lot of the creators that I watch every day. But just as far as I one time got a community guideline violation. They said that I was trying to influence people to watch my video, and I was like,
How dare
I kind
you?
of thought that was the whole point. I thought
Yeah.
that's why we were here.
So what's what's your theory? What's your approach to YouTube and YouTube videos and growing a following and stuff like that?
Well, man, I've had a lot of people ask me, how I went about it, and I just react to things I see. It's like um, whatever kind of comes under my radar, I just react to it. A lot of times I don't. There's some stories that I'll react to right away. They're easy, especially if somebody in MAGA just says something stupid. That's
Yeah.
easy to react to. But
Sure.
if it's a story that I feel like I need to wait a day or two, I'm not necessarily as on top of it as some people are. There's some stories where I go, wait a minute, there's so much coming out about this story, and it's a breaking story, and I don't know really what I need to say just yet. So I kind of lay back on the ropes for a minute and wait till the story kind of starts to
Yeah.
unfold a little more.
I think that's
So
kind of smart. Yeah. Yeah.
because I have tripped up a time or two when I didn't. But I just react to what's going on in the world around me and just post it up there. And I've just had better luck on YouTube as far as it's not if I've had like I've not really had strikes or anything like that. But if I've had copyright claims or if I've had something happen, I've had it at least explained to me. Like back when the guy set himself on fire outside the Trump trial. I shared that clip on YouTube, and they immediately they took the video down, deleted it completely to where I couldn't even recover it. But I got a message from them explaining why. They was like, "Hey, it was like you probably didn't know that you couldn't share that clip because it was mainstream news, but you can't, and so we took it down, and it didn't count as a strike. But at least it was like it felt like I was actually communicating with somebody. Whereas on TikTok, it's like you just sort of you get the
Yeah.
warning, and then you win the appeal, but then you still have the strike. It's
Yeah.
so
Right.
at least it's not
Yeah.
as confused. It's not as confusing to me. Like, YouTube's a lot easier to understand for me. Knock
Yeah.
on wood.
I think I'm the only one here that's not super familiar with that because I'm the only one here that doesn't really post a lot of political content. So the three of you guys have had massive share of. I know what I mean. Wiseacre, you lost your account a couple times, and Hawk
Lost
just
two,
lost
yeah.
his main account. So fun times, yeah. But that's cool that you got to jump on YouTube, back then because it takes a while to grow. But it's
Mhm.
I know I was inspired by looking at your YouTube channel when I started kind of thinking, maybe we need to diversify a little bit away from TikTok. And you were one of the first people I went and saw their YouTube channel. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and it seems pretty friendly. And so far, it has been.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So let's see here. If you guys have any questions for Brando or Hawk or Wiseacre or myself, put them in the chat. I'll try to see them. Genius said, "Welcome to the TikTok bitch session." That's right. Damn right, man. We can bitch about TikTok all we want here.
That has double meaning too, because I feel like I am TikTok's
Totally.
bitch.
Yeah, you are TikTok's bitch. That's right. That's why we have you here. Um, yeah. So, Brando, do you have
You
any?
should put that in your profile.
Yeah, I'll get a community guidelines for it though.
You
so
will indeed.
Yeah.
I feel like that guy. What's that guy who does those lives all the time and holds his mic?
good trouble.
Yeah, that's who I
Yeah.
feel
Oh,
like.
good trouble.
But I'm holding this just because people. I don't know what the fuck this volume thing's doing.
It
man.
looks nice. You
It's
look
down to
like
47%. It just keeps turning me down, and I'm starting to take it personally.
There you
It's
go.
just one piece of tech I
is
haven't
it
been
set
able to
to
solve.
auto? You might have it set to auto.
It's in Loopback. It's not even in this software. It's some other piece of software. It's the puzzle pieces. But Yeah, so Aaron pointed out here, one of our moderators, Lori, happy 21st birthday. That is completely awesome.
Happy birthday, Lori.
Thank you, Aaron. So everybody wish Lori a happy birthday in the chat.
And SG Stu and Mona, thank you guys as well.
Carrie, thank you. Kim said Brando has to do his own inaugural poll. We have polls on here, so if you have a poll you want to do, feel free to just throw it out there and I'll type it in.
So,
it does not have to be anything serious at all. So Charlene says, Brando, can you tell us about your rally speeches?
Well, those have been interesting because, for years, it's weird, like being a musician and walking on stage with a band versus walking on stage to talk about things. It's a totally different vibe. It feels completely different. But, I got asked to do it and did it. And I really enjoyed it. Because the thing was, I was used to the live audience as a musician. And then, during the pandemic, we started doing videos, kind of went in this direction. And I got used to reacting to people on a screen, and I would even do like live music streams where I'm playing and I'm trying not to read the comments so I won't forget the words to my songs, and stuff like that.
Totally, yeah.
It was a real challenge. But to go out there and speak and feel the energy coming off of a live audience and they react, you get a pop when you say something.
I'll bet, man.
It's been good, and it's just something that I want to get out there and do more of because I feel like we're in that era now, and just want to whatever I can do to to get the word out and just keep pushing forward. I feel like we kind of have to. So I never thought I'd be doing this with my life. If you'd asked me 10, 15 years ago, I'd have never guessed it. But here we are.
You're not alone in that club, man. This is the last thing I ever thought I'd be doing. You couldn't even get me to post anything on social media a few years ago, but here we are, right? So,
yeah.
So, do you have any kind of insight into the recent happenings in Tennessee? Because Tennessee's kind of like a test bed for a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of this authoritarianism stuff.
I've always felt that way. It seems like it happens here first, and I used to say that in my videos a lot, that I felt like that we were the blueprint, the testing ground for Project 2025.
Yeah.
And some people thought I was, being hyperbolic or exaggerating that. But I went to a special session back in January, February. The Governor Bill Lee here in Tennessee called together. And it's one thing to sit and watch clips of it or watch it on television, but it's completely different when you're in the chamber and you just see the way they just come out. And it's almost like an auction. It's like they let maybe one person talk, another person talk, and then boom, we put it to a vote, and then boom, the hammer comes down and it's over, and you ain't got a chance to talk. And I was there when they came out and basically said that if you voted against Governor Bill Lee's immigration policy, that you could receive a felony for that. And I remember sitting there thinking, is this real? Like, is this really happening? Because sometimes you almost wish when you read this stuff that it would be satire or it would be some sort of like joke, but then it's not. And you catch yourself going, damn, this is the real world. And it was like a long ride back from Nashville. Me and my friend coming back was like, did we just live through that? Did we really see that in real time? But yeah, it's blood red here. But we got a lot of good voices that are speaking up and doing their best. And and I think I don't know. I've had people ask me, do you think you'll ever see Tennessee go blue? I can't see that personally, but I do believe there's enough people out there, and maybe if enough people ends up being hurt by this administration, maybe in years to come we might see some change, because I do see a lot of people out at the rallies and a lot of people out speaking up, more so than I really expected. There's been times, if I'm just being brutally honest, there's been times where me and my buddies been going to them and we're like, well, wonderful, have a crowd today. And then we've showed up and had a good crowd. And so and on a Monday or a Tuesday, it'd be, the steps of the Capitol would be packed. So I think there are a lot of people that are seeing the need to get out. And I always tell people too that if nothing else, because some people say, well, do you think protesting will do any good? But I just really believe that if nothing else, it helps to surround yourself with like-minded people, to hear their stories and hear their struggles, what they've went through, and it helps you to build a community. And that's what I tell people all the time. It's more about community building than it is anything else. And
totally.
I've noticed too, like I'll see these guys like Adam Mockler and the younger guys. They'll be out there at these rallies. And a lot of times they're at the opposing side, and they'll have their microphone. And they're like, "Hey," and they'll talk to Trump supporters, and they'll go back and forth with them, and that's cool. But so I'd go out here to these rallies, and I'd think, well, I'll talk to people too. But what's funny is like there's a whole lot of people in my part of the world. It's like, oh, hold on, man, I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
bet,
school
man.
teacher. I'm a school teacher, or I work for the railroad, or I do whatever, and I can't risk losing my job, and they'll tell me a story, or they'll tell me something, and they'll say, tell that in your video, and so
Yeah,
they pass those stories along that way, or they'll send me an email and sure that I'll be like, well, hey, reach out to me and tell me your story, or we'll talk in private.
yeah,
So I've been getting to hear a lot of stories about things people are going through, and it's been pretty eye-opening, honestly.
yeah. I mean, it's a real risk, people
Yeah, it
getting
is.
on camera and speaking their mind in a place like that, and
And it's sad too, because you got the MAGAs who are just so empowered and so excited to talk and can't wait to get in front of a microphone, and
yeah,
they're on the wrong side of history.
and they'll pretty much say anything with their full chest and
Oh
no
yeah.
fear of repercussion whatsoever. Yeah, is what do you do as a? Because you were in our text thread earlier. You said that there's some other blue dots around, and you know them all by name, of course, because there are not many of you. How
Yeah.
do you cope with that just on a day-to-day basis, being in such a red
Well,
place with the
I
values
tell
and
you,
things that you have?
yeah, man, I tell you, it's a weird feeling. I saw a comment a while ago go by that said, when would I be back in the Bay Area? It'll probably be more like the end of July now, probably before I can get out there. But it's funny because I've got this massive following on social media, and I can come out to the Bay Area and I'll bump into people on the street that know who I am.
Yeah,
And then when me and Hawk was sitting in the bar having a beer together, he's talking politics loud, and his voice carries over throughout the crowd. And I'm sitting there like as he's talking, and I'm kind of looking over my shoulder. I'm like, is somebody
dude.
going to come walk up and pick a fight with us? Because if you'd have talked that way back home where I'm from, it would have been a totally different scenario. And so
Yeah,
it's weird because I'm in a town of like 9,000 people, and I don't go out very much. I don't socialize, so I do feel isolated. But yet there's this big world out there that knows my name. So it's kind
yeah,
of a something I'm still trying to learn how to juggle and figure out.
yeah,
I mean, do
yeah.
you
I
ever
get
do you
that.
ever do you ever get recognized around town where you live, or get any pushback from people where you live?
Yeah, well, I do get recognized a lot. I've not really, knock on wood, I've not really had a lot of negative confrontations. One that I actually really enjoyed was this guy walked up to me. I was in a Walmart, the local Walmart, and this guy walked up and he goes, I didn't have my bandana on, and he goes, "Hey," he's like, ain't you that Brando guy?" And and I said, "Yeah, that's me." And I didn't know which way it would go. And he
Yeah.
said, "Man, he said, I watch you every day." And I said, "Well, man, I appreciate it." He goes, "I don't agree with the words you got to say."
Oh,
But I
really?
was like, I said, "Well, he said, but I listen every day and you make me think." And I was like, "Well, dude, that's all I'm trying to do." I appreciate that. I kind of almost take that as a higher compliment than anything. I was like, "Okay, well, he doesn't agree with the word I say, but he tunes in every day." So
Totally, man.
I
I
was
mean,
like, "All
that's
right,
actually
cool."
a nice interaction, right? I mean, because you must be like when that happens, like braced for impact.
I'm always braced.
Like,
Yeah. I'm
what's
always
this
braced
gonna
for the
be,
worst.
man?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can totally see somebody like without your bandana being like, I don't know, man, is that dude? It reminds me of when I ran into my brother and I went to see Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he was riding this little scooter, and he basically crashed the scooter into me, but he wasn't wearing his hat that he always wore. So nobody knew who he was,
Yeah.
and I knew. I was like, "Holy shit, man! This is Stevie Ray Vaughan just crashed into me." I'm like, "Dude, hurt me, fine. I'll have a good
That's
story for the
awesome.
rest of my life." But everybody else was like oblivious because he didn't have his hat on, so I could see people
Yeah.
not knowing who you were.
I've had that happen a couple of times, and one time, one of the funniest exchanges was I was on a trolley, like on the shuttle at the airport in Dallas. I was coming back from California. I didn't have a bandana on. I was sitting there, and I was sitting down, and I had my hand on a pole, and I had this ring on my finger, and I have my hand on the pole, and I'm holding on as we're going around. There's this girl keeps looking over at me, and finally she's like, "I got a weird question," and I said, "Okay." She's like, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." She's like, "You're Tennessee Brando." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "I noticed that ring." She said, "Because you talk with your hands and you're always like," and she
No
said, "Some of
way,
your
man.
thumbnails, yeah, she noticed the ring, and I was like, okay, well, cool. She's like, some of your thumbnails of your ring is in the picture, and she said, I saw that, and I saw the tattoos.
That's
But that was
funny.
pretty funny because I'm just kind of sitting there holding on, looking like, is she going to speak? And how's it going to go? Because like I said, you just never know. But so far, it's for the most part, it's been positive. And
Well, it's not that different from people recognizing Hawk from his mullet, right? I mean, hey, we got Attorney Die here in the crowd.
In the comments.
What's happening, Attorney Die? Good to see you. I haven't been following here as much, but if you guys, Hawk and Wiseacre, you can look out for questions and let me know. Yeah, this person, Julie, says, Blue Dot in Knoxville, Tennessee, I find it hard to speak up being a business owner. Yeah, if my actions harm my business, it harms my employees. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like, that's what you're talking about. Have you ever had anybody like get really aggro with you that like you're talking about Hawk speaking loudly in the bar about politics? I imagine in Tennessee that is actually a little bit of a dangerous thing if you're like in a crowd of Trumpers.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I played music for over 20 years in this part of the world, and I never really, I didn't talk politics on the microphone. I might talk it at the bar, sitting with somebody, sitting with a friend or something, and it wouldn't be too bad. But it's the Trump years to me made it worse. It was like before, you could talk and you could disagree with George Bush, and it seemed like, you might get a little pushback, but not like with Trump. You say something against Trump, and it's just like an absolute.
It's a whole different ball game.
It's a totally different ball game. But for the most part, I've noticed something too, and I say this a lot in my videos. I've noticed that whenever I, if I'm talking about politics on, with someone at a bar around here, as long as I don't use the word Democrat or liberal or anything like that, if I just talk about the issues, and I usually 9 times out of 10, I got people agreeing with me. It's until I say the word Democrat or liberal, they immediately pump the brakes and go, whoa, wait a minute, hold on a second. Or if they realize that what I'm actually criticizing is criticizing Trump.
Yeah, so it is really like an identity thing. Like, hey, don't mess with my identity, because I can agree with you on everything until you show up as the person I'm supposed to be against, more or less. Yeah. Yeah, I think about that. My brother and I have kind of a freedom of privilege to just, we don't worry about what we say, where we are. And I was looking at this venue in Nashville because we're going to go check something out in Nashville. And I was looking at the venue's website, and I got to the FAQ, and like the second question is, can I bring my gun? And I'm like, and the answers weren't listed. You had to click on the question to get the answer to show up. And I'm like, okay, hold on. What's the answer going to be to this? Can I bring my gun? Luckily it was no. But I'm like, that is such a foreign thing to me.
Well, I remember back years ago, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember the year when they passed it that you could carry a gun in a bar in Tennessee. And I was playing in them, and I've seen people, I've seen people beat up and stabbed and shot at and everything else. So it was like, I remember me and the drummer was talking, like, he was like, holy shit, dude. He's like, wait a minute. Now these people we're playing to that gets this rowdy, because we were kind of a rowdy band that, played a lot of like honky tonk drinking music. And it was like, he's like, you mean to tell me that we're going to be in here now with these people that we've seen turn the place into Roadhouse?
No doubt.
And they're going to have guns.
They're going to have guns now. So, it actually, there was musicians. I noticed a whole lot more where they begin to talk common sense. They might have even been more right leaning, but it was like, wait a minute, hold on, we're going in here. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean that's like the next logical step backwards is for everybody to be packing, and who knows what their threshold is for.
Yeah, let's inflate the balloon of the country. That's a good way to.
Exactly, man. That's just wild to me, man. It's so wild, but yeah, it's really interesting to have a perspective from someone who lives in it, because we're from Ohio, so we know a little bit of a mixture, and Wiseacre's from Ohio, but it's not Tennessee. You know, it's not like what you.
Well,
your
I'm close to
experience is.
Kentucky, so it's not
Oh, that's
far
true.
off.
Actually, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Well, JD Vance is near to where I am. It's where
Mm,
he's from, Middletown.
right.
It's only like 20 minutes away. So very red, very, very,
Right.
very red. A different kind of scary country.
Yeah. I
In fact,
imagine.
the area we live in is known to be one of the hotbeds of Triple K out here.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's interesting, Sherry. She said, I'm a therapist. I try really hard to keep politics out of any discussions. It's harder and harder now since January. Wow. That's very interesting. That would be interesting in a therapy session to be dealing with a Trump supporter. Man.
Hey, Christina, Upper
They
Arlington.
go to. I can't imagine Trump supporters go to therapy.
Christina Bell in Upper Arlington, right on, Ohio. J.D. Vance land, Grim Reaper. Chris says we have a bar in Green Bay that has a gun shop attached to it. All right. That works.
Mark.
So,
Kill two birds with one stone. No pun
to
intended.
the people in the chat, I usually do this. I forgot to do it. I'm curious where you guys are coming from and how many Canadians do we have in the chat. Congratulations and thank you for yeah, Attorney Di says hazard pay for therapists, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Jordy got a clan card in their mailbox last year. Holy
Hey, Millennial Mia.
oh, in Nashville. Wow, do you see much of that, Brando?
What's that?
That
Clan activity?
Jordy said I had a clan card put in my mailbox last year. I'm white and I live in Nashville.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. I mean, I see it a lot more in Nashville, and I see it happening there more than where I'm at. But now we have in the past, and this right here in my hometown, we've had the Klan, rally here and walk up and down the streets. It's pretty crazy. I remember we did back during I think the last time I remembered around here, I may be wrong, but one of my last memories, like right around here, was back during the Charlottesville time.
Oh
when
yeah,
that all happened.
Yeah.
And then they were removing statues and things like that. But I do see a lot of that more in Nashville, and they've been in Knoxville. The Proud Boys have a time or two.
yeah,
They've came through Knoxville. I'm just in a smaller, town, and we usually I tell everybody we're kind of like an hour and a half, 2 hours from everybody else.
yeah,
It's like we're that town where you start driving, you can hit some pretty cool. I love my town, but I'm saying you can hit some pretty cool bigger towns if you drive about an hour and a half or two,
yeah.
2 hours in any direction.
So you said there's more of that in Nashville. Doesn't Nashville have a pretty like liberal side too, or is it?
Yeah, they're over on the east side. It is
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
got a
a
lot
lot
of
of
friends in
big.
East Nashville.
Yeah, and
Really?
that's kind of and in Knoxville, Tennessee, I go there quite a bit. That's kind of my home away from home, and even though it's still blood red, Kane, the wrestler, Glenn Jacobs, he's the mayor of Knox County, but still you can go to a little section of town, the old city it's called, and places like that, and people like us would fit in more,
Right.
and then you can literally drive 2 blocks up the road and you're right back in blood red Trump country. It's kind of
Wow.
a trip. But
I
That
drive
is
through
wild.
Knoxville going to Atlanta.
I
and
saw
there's
one
that
comment go by a minute ago, someone asking if people in my part was, taught about Trump in the church. Yeah, they are. And believe it or not far from where I'm sitting, I was driving down the road one day. I ain't went to look at this building to see what it looks like. I just saw the sign. But there literally was a sign that pointed, and it said the MAGA church, and it like pointed
No
in this
way.
direction.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
my
serious.
God. The
And I was like,
self-proclaimed MAGA
holy
church.
crap. Yeah, I was like, holy crap. I was like, I don't know if I want to drive out there and look or not.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
They
Yeah.
may recognize me.
I wonder how many people turn around at that point.
Yeah, no
Go
joke.
the opposite way of that era. Wow, the MAGA church, man, that is wild.
Hey, look, they're going to have religious charter schools, it seems.
It does seem that way, right?
Ugh.
I mean, what do they do
Publicly funded.
when there's
Yep, public funded. Yep.
when there's a Supreme Court decision that's 4-4? Like I don't know what happens then.
Oh, that's right. She's recusing herself,
Because
isn't she?
it was tied, right? So
Mhm.
that's to you, Hawk, since you're the attorney.
Well,
Are you ignoring me? Oh, he's doing research.
No.
Ask ChatGPT. Ask
If it's a-
ChatGPT.
if there's a tie, if there's a 4-4 decision out of the Supreme Court, then whatever the lower court ruling is stands
Oh,
because it has not been overruled by the Supreme Court.
Oh, okay.
So
but it
she
will probably
recused
be what,
herself.
5-3 though.
So okay,
Interesting.
so Amy. So today the Supreme Court heard oral argument in a charter school case. She recused herself from oral argument, deliberations, and the voting on the case itself, and gave no explanation as to why. So that's always cool.
Interesting.
When a Supreme Court justice recuses themselves from a case of significant importance and doesn't tell anybody why.
Was she involved in the case early on? Because I assume this has gone through.
Well, hang on, let me read here. Okay, so one of the parties to the case is Saint Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School, and one of the professors at that school is very close friends with Amy Coney Barrett.
Wow, thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that. Aaron's one of our awesome mods here. So she recused herself because she was involved with the school.
She's good friends with somebody who works there, and if you can, give a shout out to other people who've been donating as well.
Yeah, well, I'm having a hard time following this. I'll have to pay a little more attention, but thank you everybody who's been donating, and
thank you, Aaron,
everybody who's here,
and Mona and SG Stu and Zelda and Karen and Radio Tuck Frumpet and Grace.
Oh, you got it handled, man.
We missed a few.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that she recused. I'm kind of glad she did, actually.
I'm kind of surprised.
I mean, so this case is going to be heard by 8 justices. I would be very surprised if it's a 4-4 decision.
It's going to be 5-3.
Yeah. And then we will no longer have separation of church and state.
Right.
Nope.
Cool.
I mean,
and a whole lot of public schools are going to lose money. That's going to go to a charter school that will close in 4 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the goal, right?
You know, whatever, man. Let's make kids in red states even stupider than they already are.
I mean,
let's make them even dumber than their parents.
That's why Trump likes the uneducated, fits in. Not only uneducated, but uneducated and indoctrinated, right?
Yep.
It's a better combination when you can get both. Brando, you said you're in the buckle of the Bible Belt. Did you have a lot of experience in that when you were in school and growing up, or was it?
Yeah, I grew up in church, and I came from a family that was kind of split on their beliefs. So, like, on my dad's side of the family, they were Southern Baptist, but when my mom's family went to church, they went to the Pentecostal church, and so I kind of went back and forth between those two. And the Pentecostal church is pretty wild if you've never been.
I can imagine.
The one I went to did everything except handle the snakes. we didn't bring out the snakes, but there was speaking in tongues and all that kind of stuff. And so I grew up around that, and it's one of those things that no matter. I heard the comedian Sam Kinison one time, because he used to be a minister, and he said that no matter how far you get away from it, sometimes you'll still, you're still sort of traumatized by it when you're brought up that way. And I read, when I heard him say that, I thought that's so true, because there's times, no matter how far I've got away from it or deconstructed, there's times that I'll just have a moment where I'm like, because you grow up around that. But it's really big here. A friend of mine visited from out in California, came out here, and they live around Sacramento. Came out here, and I was like, I've never seen this many churches in one spot in my life. Like, you can't drive anywhere. Like, they're everywhere. You drive a backcountry road, and if you took a shot of liquor every time you passed the church, you'd have alcohol poisoning in 2 miles. It's like, I'm not exaggerating.
And that's probably the best way to handle it, right?
Yeah.
It's like Mansfield, Falcon.
Yeah. I guess I have seen that. Yeah. I just have, what is it like being a kid and being in a Pentecostal church? And I mean, Wiseacre, you went through some of this.
Speaking in tongues.
People start speaking.
Yeah, my
in
wife grew up Pentecostal, so it was even worse for girls because they're super traditional, and women were very, very, very taught to be very subservient.
I mean, that's
We're
just got to
still.
be so freaking bizarre to
Oh,
see
it never.
grown
You.
adults start just like.
I mean, our lives are like a
I'm
tree.
actually
This is
not
a.
hearing him on my end. Why
Oh,
is
you
that?
can't hear me?
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
not
hearing
hearing
him.
him?
No.
I can hear him.
Okay.
Oh well, shit.
That's odd.
I didn't know. I don't know. You can hear me and you can hear Hawk
Mm-hmm.
and not Wiseacre. Let me see here.
No.
Say something, Wiseacre.
What's the point? Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Jackie
weird.
CDB.
That is so
A minute ago,
weird.
a minute ago, I realized that you were talking to him, and I was like, "Wait, his mouse moving."
Have
Sorry.
you have you heard him at all this whole time?
No.
I mean, he hasn't been talking much. I will admit that. But all right, Wiseacre, say something.
Okay.
I
Yeah, my
get
wife
it.
grew up Pentecostal. I grew up
Everyone else
Presbyterian.
says they can hear him. So
All right, let
That
me
couldn't
see
be
if
more
I can figure
different.
that out. Give me a moment. You guys
But
can
yeah, I grew
talk
up
amongst
around
yourselves.
I grew up around the speaking in tongues too. And the thing is, there's a belief they have that there has to be someone there that can interpret it.
Interpret.
And that's one of the weirdest things ever. So like one person will get up and do it, and then there's a person sitting off to the side that will tell the congregation what they just said. It's really kind
Oh,
of
so it's just totally
well,
like this is what I
yeah,
this is what I
So-
want you
Yeah.
to believe someone just
Yeah.
said. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So okay, so it's Joseph Smith and his seer stones in the
Yeah.
hat.
It pretty much is.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
I
you
had a
have
cousin
to,
one
like,
time
I
that
don't know if
went
this
to
is
that
true
church with
for.
me, and he heard about Joseph Smith, and he said, "Man, that guy right there was weird." And I was like, "Dude, we're listening to people speak in tongues every week. Like, what's like? You can't really
That's
say anything about it.
freaking
I mean,
wild,
it's all
man.
weird."
All right, Wiseacre, why can't Brando hear you?
I don't know.
I've
Thanks, Cat Quest.
Everything was going
We're happy
so
to help.
well. Dang it.
yeah,
Well, I may not be able to solve this. Let me
it's no problem if you can.
I mean,
like I said,
the clips I see of, like, you know, the people speaking in tongues. Thanks, Barb. And like dancing around. I mean, the people that dance around and gyrate and they look like they're having seizures and stuff. It's just like, what the hell, man?
Yep.
yeah, and like I said, it's when you're a kid, growing up in that environment, and you see that, and then you ask the question, what caused that? It's like you're kind of told, like, don't question that. If you question that, you could go to hell for asking the wrong question.
right.
And that's always been
That's the
I
threat.
mean, I
right?
was literally when I went to I've told a story on TikTok before in videos I've made, but when I went to that church, I was probably 10 or 11 year old. They actually removed me from Sunday school class because I asked too many questions. And the teacher said I was confusing the other kids, and that he was losing control of the class. But I thought it was a fair question. He was talking about accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and he said if you if you don't accept Him, to anyone that never accepted Him, they won't see God. And he said there's no exceptions. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, what about people that was say they were over here? What about the Native Americans that were over here? And what about people that was in other parts of the world that didn't hear Jesus back then? He said, well, I'm sure they heard of him. I was like, so Jesus came here? He's like, well, I'm sure he did. I'm like, well, where's it say that in the Bible? We just kept going around and around and around.
See,
And,
you were looking for evidence. That's the problem.
yeah, and it was a big problem. And then they got really upset when I pointed out that in the scene where Judas betrays Jesus, there's actually a part at the Lord's Supper where he turns and tells Judas, hey, it said that one of you must betray me, go do it now or whatever. And I was like, well, then how's he a backstabber if he was told to, and stuff like that. Those questions finally the guy like calls a meeting with my mom and the preacher, and he's like, I think he needs to sit out front.
I was gonna
'cause
say,
he-
man, how long before they reached out to the parents and said we have a bit of an issue with Junior over here? He's
Yeah, but then when I was out front, what's so wild about it is when I'm out front, that's when now picture you're like 10 or 11 and now you're out front. Used to I was just hearing that stuff through the walls in the Sunday school class, but now they threw me right from the frying pan into the fire. And it
Oh,
was like,
man.
whoa.
that was
So
wild.
I seen it firsthand. And it
So
was
it was usually like the kids were off in the Sunday school part in another
they had like
room while
rooms that we would
while the shenanigans were going on with the adults, and then they threw
Yeah.
you in with the adults, huh?
Yeah,
Oh man,
it's
that's
pretty wild.
Yeah,
wild.
they're like, you got questions now? Wait till you see this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a
Exactly.
comedian. There was a comedian. I cannot remember his name, but I watched him for a while and I loved him. He was, I think he was an Irish guy, and he did a bit where he talked about how that he went to church. I think it was a Catholic church he went to for the first time, and he said he walked in and he looked and he saw this big like statue of Jesus nailed to a cross with like blood everywhere, and he said there was this nun looked down at him and said, "Are you going to be a good boy?" And he said, "Yeah."
Oh
There
my
was a dude
God.
nailed to a cross. That was one of the funniest bits ever. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think he was an Irish comedian. It was great.
Yeah, that's.
Dave something, I want to say.
I mean, that's the threat of fear.
Yeah.
Hey, Wiseacre, you can disconnect and reconnect if you want, and see if that works.
Okay. I'll try that.
Never know, but we'll be here. Yeah, man, I can't imagine growing up around that, man. That's just. Thank you all. So happy to see Brando as a guest. Maybe Coach D in the future. Yeah, I like Coach D. Thank you for that comment. Brando, do you do lives on your channel? I think you do, right?
Yeah, I do them
Yeah.
like on Tuesdays I do them at noon Eastern time. And then on Thursdays, I usually go at 7 p.m. Eastern time, although I'm not going to be able to do one tomorrow because I'm going to be out of town. But
Oh, so you do
I
two a week.
yeah, usually, and because I had like when I was doing them, I used to do them both at noon Eastern, and then I had a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm at work, I can't make it. But would love to see you do an evening show."
Right.
So I started alternating and doing one at 12 Eastern and then one at 7 Eastern.
Yeah, that's good. Well, 12 is good for is better for the international crowd, right? Or is it? Yeah, I guess
It
it
feels
is.
like it is because, like, for a lot of people around here, it's lunchtime, and then for a lot of people in California, they're just kind of getting up and getting started. So I got friends out
Right.
there that are on their way to work, and they're kind of
Yeah.
watching as they're going. So.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Tabitha would be a good guest too. We were talking last week and I already had you
Dave
scheduled.
Allen, yeah. Sorry,
That's all
somebody
right.
in the comments said Dave Allen. That was the comedian I was trying to
Oh
think
yeah,
of.
okay. Okay. Alan said I studied Hindu long enough to understand Brando's tat. What's tat?
Yeah.
What tat is that?
There's the little sign here. I got it a while
yeah.
back, been a couple of years ago, but there's just one of those peace things I was into at the time.
Yeah.
Reading some Buddhism and stuff.
So thank you, Melba. Have an ice cream burrito, goldfish, sweet tarts. People give us money for treats in here, which is amazing. Thanks, Melba. Appreciate that. So Wiseacre, say something. Let's see if Brando can hear you.
Let's see if it works.
Yep, I heard that.
You did.
Well,
Yep, I
it
did.
worked.
Damn, man.
There we
look
go.
at that.
Woo! I'm a person again.
We're making waves
Brilliant.
in here, man. Solving problems. That's awesome.
Well, now I can see you two better on the screen. A minute ago, like I couldn't see if your mouth was moving or not, and I was like, that's when I heard them saying like they were responding to. I was like, wait, he's talking. So
He's
that's what
moving.
I didn't
Who the
realize
hell
it
are
at
they
first.
talking to, man? Yeah, that's all right. It's always fun with lives, man. When shit stops working, something always.
Did you
stops
have
working.
to speak in tongues, Tennessee Brando? Because my wife did.
Yeah, good question.
She had to. It was like she couldn't go on to another class or something until she spoke in tongues.
I was so small, I didn't have to, but I think if you're going to be in it, they do expect you to. It's kind of like the snake handling thing. It's like you're not going to get away from it. They're going to eventually corner you and make you do it.
Which,
So
if you
do
know anything
they-
about the Bible, it's weird because it says that it's a gift. Not everyone has that gift,
I
but
know.
they're forced to anyway.
But everyone has to do it, right? So
Yeah, everyone
do
has to do
they
it,
give
but-
you some kind of coaching, or they just want you to feel
You're
it
going to be
coming
filled
up
with
from
the Spirit, and
okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess coaching.
And it all sounds the same. It's all sort of like sort of like weird.
And anywhere I've ever heard it, it's always had the same. It always sounds the same, and then someone will interpret what it meant.
Yeah.
And
It says that you need to stop drinking Diet Coke so much. That's weird.
I cannot even imagine. I mean,
I would give anything to be the interpreter for one of those.
Oh my god, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Boy, it just said that you should stop. No,
Yeah.
what do you do with your mom every day? Well, that's weird.
Carrie's asking if Hawk really needs more sweet tarts after last week. Hawk is not allowed to eat sweet tarts right now on this live? You don't
Because he's
have
got
any
the
in there, do
sweet
you?
farts now.
They make mouth
Sugar.
noises.
Yeah, Brando, I have that affliction called misophonia or something, where people's like chewing just makes my brain go into like either a blind rage or like just stimulus overload. And Hawk
Yeah,
likes to eat.
I have a small dose of that. It just
You
depends
do?
on the person. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, the other day I was sitting and watching some TV with my youngest son, and he was like munching on these chips, and I was sitting making this crunching sound like with each one he threw in his mouth,
Oh
and
man.
I was kind of like, I gotta move.
Yeah, you got to move, or you're gonna do something you're gonna regret, right? I mean, that's how. I mean, it's like.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I grew up with this dude sitting on the sofa when he's eating a bowl of Crunch Berries, and it's like it's next level fucking torture, man. I'm telling you, it is no
and
joke.
it makes him so happy. You can tell he's like, this is the best. It's
That's
so good.
hilarious, man.
That's
I mean,
great.
luckily he did. I don't think he knew at the time, and I don't think I knew at the time, or he would have just done it more. But and I don't know why my face on this video looks literally like a beet. It's like blood red. I have no idea why. My face is not really that red.
Why are you holding in all that rage?
Maybe it's maybe that. I mean, that's what is going on. This is a new phone. It's supposed to
Are
be
you
good.
are you holding in a fart?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm in a room by myself.
Sweet farts.
So LAG says, "Hey Falcon, do you have one TikTok account?" Yeah, I only have one, but there's other people out there pretending to be me.
Lots.
Yeah,
I have that too.
yeah. I think we all have that. But
That's so much fun. That's
Isn't
one of my
it?
favorite things about TikTok.
it's gonna be one of the
Yeah, did they
nicest
even let
things
you
about-
report it? What's the point of reporting it? Because they never
There's
do
none.
anything.
I've never had anyone do anything about it. I've reported all of them, and nothing happens. And I've had people report for me, and nothing ever happens.
There's
It's the
there's
dumbest
I
thing.
mean,
Like, we're going to
it's-
put this in here.
there's a
Yeah.
service
It's an
that
actual-
I found that you
It's
have
an
to
actual
pay.
category that you can select.
Doesn't do shit.
Imposter account. They
That's right.
created
Of me.
a category for that, and then it's like, here's an imposter account. And they're like, no, that's no violation.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So-
my first account got banned because people were reporting the other accounts, but didn't know that my account wasn't the fake. And like, I think I got,
Yeah,
because they
I've
said
heard
that my
happen.
account was inauthentic. I'm like,
Right.
what?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
I've never, knock on wood, on TikTok. I've not had the channel ever be banned. Knock on wood. But what happens to me is I just get shadow banned to the point that my videos just sit there and don't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
one time I went through a phase where the video just stayed on 0 for days.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then it
Oh,
might
that's
jump
crazy.
up to then it might jump up to like 32 views or something and just hang there and stay.
Yep.
And even some of the videos I had that would be getting some good traction, I still would hear people saying, "I'm not seeing you in the For You page," and so
Yeah.
and I hear that from so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tanya had a question. Brando, in your older music days, did you ever play in Love Valley, North Carolina? Allman Brothers had a getaway cabin there.
No, I never played there. I've played North Carolina quite a bit, but I don't think I've ever played there. I did when she said Allman Brothers, I kind of perked up because me and the band one time, right after Greg Allman died, we worked up a really good tribute and played it in Knoxville, Tennessee to Greg Allman. Had a lot of fun playing that music. It's a challenge
I'll bet.
to play. Yeah, it was really fun. But we got enough good people together and done the jamming and the twin leads and had a good time with it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So Sherry, I know Sherry says, "Falcon, you look sunburned." I don't understand it. I don't know. I mean, I'm warm, but I don't normally look like this, so it's always something, man. Stu said he saw an account called Hawk's Mullet. Hawk, have you seen that? Your mullet has an account.
No.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
pretty great.
There's
Christina.
one fake account of me that it's my picture, but it says Marlon Brando Jr. And I was like, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a service I found that back when I actually cared, when Hawk had all those imposters, that you can pay, and they will actually do the like legal DCMA takedown thing to TikTok, and TikTok would actually take the accounts down, but only if you paid some other service to do it. If you do it yourself, they're just like, what are you gonna do about it, man? They don't care.
They need their users, even if they're fake.
Yeah, exactly. Tia
The
said,
worst is that
where?
there's some of them monetize off of those accounts
Oh
too.
yeah, they all
That's
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And get people to try to sell people crypto. Tia said, "Where's the protest tomorrow?" I don't know exactly, Tia, but you can check out this website. What is it again? It's
50-51, you mean?
Well, it's 5051, but there's also a website called maydaystrong.org.
Oh, that one.
I'll put it in the chat and pin it if I can figure out how to do that. maydaystrong.org. Let me see here. Why is that? Oh, okay, that's not working either. We'll do it over here. But, oh wow, that's weird. I got all kinds of weird, glitchy stuff going on here. All right. So do you normally have guests in your lives, Brando? What's your format?
Sometimes I do. So sometimes I do, and I'll go a little bit longer. Usually, I just do 30 minutes, but
oh yeah,
I'll go longer if I have a guest, and just haven't had one in a little bit. But I've it just kind of like one of the last ones I did. It was kind of funny. I had like a panel of 5, and it was like the first time that I had done that, and I was kind of like in your shoes, like trying to I've got some moderators that helps out, but yeah, I was trying to make sure I could hear everybody and see everybody, and also too when there's that many, it's kind of like, okay, who's going to speak next,
Right. Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun with it.
You just sit there staring at each other for like awkward periods of silence,
Yeah.
What do you use for that? Do you use like StreamYard or something like that to have?
Yeah, I usually use StreamYard.
Yeah. I probably would have benefited from that. I'm sure it's a lot simpler than what I got going on here, but it's been fun to learn this. But I'm surprised that YouTube doesn't make it easier to have guests like TikTok does. I'm kind of surprised by that, but I guess they don't want to be involved in that kind of stuff.
I feel like StreamYard's a pretty easy platform to use. I mean, if I can use it, anybody can. I'll just say that about it.
Yeah,
it's and it seems to be getting better. Like there's more options on there than there were when I first started with it.
Yeah,
and so I'm still kind of learning the ropes of it, though. It's still this is the technical side of it's still all new to me. It's funny because people think because I was a musician for all those years, they think that I know everything about how to work YouTube or no, I could set up a PA system for you. We can get the sound running, but
totally
I don't necessarily know how to do this.
I mean, broadcast video and audio is a whole different ballgame, man.
Yeah, it is.
Mitzi says, Brando, I love your dedication to drinking the last cold drop of coffee.
Yeah.
What's that from?
I know I know on my live streams, I a lot of times I'm drinking coffee, especially at the one at noon. I'm still drinking coffee, and I remember there was one episode not long ago where I did drink like a really cold last drink. It was kind of brutal, but I plowed through it anyway.
I do that too, man. I can nurse a cup of coffee until the afternoon, but
yeah.
Jackie said it'd be cool if you can bring in people on the fly. There is a way to do that, and I'm gonna do that. I was actually just talking to Hawk about that yesterday. I think that would be really cool too. To be doing
chat relay.
Yeah, like I don't know, just do these streams and be able to just bring somebody in. There is a feature where you can just have somebody, you can send them the link and they'll just be added to the video. But I got to work my way into those things, man. This is it's a lot to manage. The whole thing could just go up in smoke. Somebody said, has anybody seen the shelves getting a little thin in the stores yet? I haven't, but
me either.
Cindy said,
although somebody did,
Falcon sounds like he's cursed with mouse lungs. Somebody
did just send me a video of somebody with a new side hustle, a young woman who just paid for a trip to Bali,
otherwise known as Bali.
Bali, whatever. She farts into baby food jars and sells those to people.
Hey,
I'm presuming that her entire customer base is men, and she you can also send her custom receptacles for her to fart into, such as like a thermos.
I mean,
I like how it went from grocery store shelves to your train of thought to like jar of farts.
Well, I'm thinking, we're in a side hustle economy here, guys.
baby
I just thought you
food
meant that she
jars?
was stocking empty shelves with her jars of farts.
There you go.
It's a little weird to
Oh.
use baby food jars, I have to admit. Interesting.
Unless it's a
choice.
really big fart, you can't contain it all.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you wondering, my audio software has now turned my mic down to 36% for some reason. It's just like it's sending me a message that I'm not relevant, but it's very slow and progressive. So I keep forgetting to look at it. But a jar of farts would be a good band name. That's true.
Yeah.
Hawk, I think there's something there for you, man. I don't know. Fart.
Locks of hair.
If
just a
things get
little-
rough, and
Well, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, because back
can't trust
then,
farts.
it was never a question as to whether or not I could actually trust a fart.
but see, that could be like,
Now it's a question I encounter multiple times a day.
it could
Can
be
I
a
really
little
trust
bit like
this?
like a little roulette kind of game where, if you get one that's untrustworthy, then that person just gets an extra special jar. So Brando, I could have warned you that things sometimes go this route, but if you feel like you want to disappear at any moment, feel free to get it. Thoughts on the Canada election? I'm just freaking happy, man. I mean,
I
it's
wish
nice.
it was us.
It's nice to be happy.
I had the same
about
thought went
something.
through my head. I wish it was us. One of the
Yeah.
moments.
I think that's a pretty common refrain here in the U.S.
I mean,
But
every day is just a day where you're like, is this really? This is really what we're doing right now.
this is happening.
Just
Yeah.
Well, and so there's this Paramount, parent company of CBS and 60 Minutes, is entering mediation talks with Donald Trump to settle his complete bullshit lawsuit against them, and which Paramount is hoping to get out of that lawsuit by paying him $20 million. So that
because they want that
it's
merger to go through,
it's an absolute fucking bribe. It is just an absolute fucking bribe.
which is an impeachable offense.
It's a bribe to the president of the United States of America.
I mean, to me, that's one of the hardest things to watch is just the grift. The crypto and
It's
the
fucking unbelievable.
the
man.
gentleman's club where you can go pay $500,000 or the gold card, all this shit that's for sale. It's like,
I wonder if
Yeah.
any of the people that are in CCOT, if they got a gold card, if they'd be able to come right back.
well,
Yeah.
you know what? I had that thought, Wiseacre. I was like, wouldn't it be interesting? Because I think Trump said
Do a
yesterday-
GoFundMe for Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
He said
Yeah,
something
sure.
yesterday for his like little, dinner that he had. Somebody said, "Hey, can I get
It was bribery dinner. Yeah.
5 of those gold cards? I want to just buy 5 of them and then pass them out to whomever I want." I was like, "Well, shit, it'd be kind of cool if somebody who was loaded just bought one of those and sent it to Kilmar, just as a statement, But
And just to prove that they're not going to accept it because it's
yeah, they would still never let
contingent
it
upon
out.
you being rich, not giving it to someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Brando, this is an interesting question for you. As I think about how they are saying, okay, that ICE can just go into anybody's house, no warrant, no announcement. I mean, how's that going to play out in a place like Tennessee if they start doing that?
Oh man, that's
Right.
That's a great question. I just did a video talking about the Oklahoma case where the family was, the ICE came in and raided them and
Yep.
took their belongings and everything else. And I thought, man, where is that tyrannical government crowd out now? The ones that's always talking to us about the tyrannical government. Where are they now?
Yeah.
And what would they do if it happened around here? And I mean, it could be really bad, man. It's one of those things, and I don't think people really, as long as it's not happening to them, that's kind of always been the Republican way. It's like if it's not happening to us, then we don't care about it. But
Right.
they should be caring about it because eventually it will be them too.
Yeah, I thought I had the same thought, like, just how that plays out, and all these 2A, Second Amendment people, this was it. Like, this was the whole fight.
Well, we all know why it wasn't the fight, because it's the
Yeah.
kind of tyrannical government they want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Tree was talking about, did you see the Terry Moran ABC interview with him about Garcia's tattoos? I thought that was, I'm always frustrated when I watch those interviews, because I'm just like, right when you guys have the prime opportunity to like press and ask, another question and another question, they just want to change the subject because they start, But
he kept giving them an exit. Like we'll move on. Man. He's like, no, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, he didn't want to move on. It's like, okay, let's not move on. It's like whip out.
That's one of those moments too where I really wish they'd have had the photo right there.
That's what I was.
That's one of those moments where I was like, dang, they needed the photo there. What's funny about that is I did a video talking about when Trump first held up the picture of it and everything, and in the video I said this guy believes that was really tattooed on his knuckles, and a friend of mine who's been a follower for a long time. I've met him a couple of times out, in public. We've seen each other. He commented, and he's like, Brando, I don't think he's that dumb now. We really don't have to think that. He's like, Trump will, he's dumb enough by himself. We don't have to do that. He's like, I think he just was holding it up to show that these symbols meant that. I said, no, I think he knew it.
He's
that
dumb.
We were texting earlier about it. Me and my buddy. He's like, well, you were right. Sorry.
Yeah, man. He is literally that dumb. Like, he really thinks that.
I mean, the thing that is just, he confesses to so much. It's great. This is going to be useful in court. All the stuff that he said. Also the fact that clearly he has no idea what is happening in his own administration.
No, he don't.
None at all.
No.
They come to him when they tell him stuff. He's like, okay, that sounds good. Like,
somebody showed him a photo. Yeah. Somebody showed him that photoshopped photo. And I think he 100% believes that Abrego Garcia has in, Times New Roman font, MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles.
That somehow the ink is so much crisper and so defined.
Nothing broke.
It's like
the best
come on,
tattooist
man.
or artist ever.
You could.
There was another part in that interview. Go ahead. Yeah. There was another part in that interview too, where where Terry Moran's telling him, like, hey, the buck stops with you. You can bring him back if you want to. And he's like, no. I've got people working on that. I'm not responsible for that. He's like, yeah, but the Supreme Court told you to facilitate, he's like, but no. And it's like someone else is handling that for me. And here lately, I've noticed more and more he's saying, well, I've got someone working on that. I don't know what you're talking about. It's the first time I'm hearing about it. He's always done that. That's the first time I'm hearing of that. But now more so than ever, it just seems like he's like, you were saying, it's just it's like he's not really in control. And it's like, yeah, these people are telling me this. There was one where he's like, I don't know. They just handed me this picture and I'm just, they're just handing it to me. It's like, clueless.
Yeah. They're like, here, pose with this. This would be great.
But that's true of everyone in the head of the departments. Like even RFK, they were trying to show him some of the evidence about things that were cut. He's like, I wasn't aware of that. I'm like, sure.
Right.
Damn job.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of the playbook, right? Like, I'm not familiar with that.
It could be them trying
to,
It could be them trying to have plausible deniability, but doesn't instill a lot of confidence when you have the people who are heading a group like, I don't know.
Yeah. Melanie said Carville and O'Reilly were yelling at each other a few minutes ago. That sounds fun.
So two old men screaming at clouds,
as if we don't have enough of that going on already.
I mean, two 80-year-olds. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Just fart yourself to death. Just go away.
Yeah, that's it. Vikala, He said, you're the president. You could pick up the phone right now. And then that's when he's like, oh, well, that's not my decision, or that's not.
Well, he contradicts himself too, because he said, I would do it if I thought that he wasn't in a gang.
Mhm.
And then he also says that I have no control over it. I'm like, well, then what?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, it's
just like the Biden, where he's like, Biden would never sit down to do an interview like what he did last year. Oh, he did? Oh, no, I know about that. I read it, and he did bad. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm constantly, and Brando, you probably see this more, and Wiseacre, you too, amazed at the mental gymnastics that take place in the heads of these Trump supporters. And I encountered this today. I woke up pretty pissed off. I was having bad dreams about, that family in Oklahoma and what they went through, because it was so, I don't know, it wasn't hard for me to imagine, even though I'm so far from it. I just put myself in that position of like, what would that be like? Your daughters being put outside, and you're trying to tell these people that they're making a mistake, and they know they're making a mistake, and you can't get them to shift out of this mindset that they're in. And I woke up, and I have this friend that I talk to, this guy I've known for decades, man, and he voted for Trump. And I didn't realize this until about 3 weeks ago when I talked to him on the phone. And I was just like, so I woke up this morning with this desire to like troll him on text for some reason, against my better judgment, but I felt like I had to get some of this shit out. So I did that. But I just asked an earnest question about, like, do you really think that it's okay to deny people due process and ship them off to a foreign prison to be held for the rest of their life? And his response was like, I'm all for good ideas. What are we supposed to do? Have 20 million hearings?
So he just repeated what Trump said? That's his best thought?
I'm like, all right, dude.
That's the law.
You're gone.
That's the law.
Correct. Like, then hire more lawyers. Don't just send people to a prison.
And I was just like, so what's your response going to be when that's someone you love or someone like me? Because I said
also,
the wrong thing.
They mistake due process with a trial. It is not a trial. They don't have to go through a trial. They just have to meet before a judge. Like, they have this idea that it's like some huge, like, oh, you can't go through 20 trials, because Trump kept saying that too. It would be like 20 million, insane number to come up with. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also that they have a trial. Like, it's not a trial. It's just like if you go to small claims court, it's not a trial.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he doesn't even know that. Even the president doesn't realize that, which I can imagine his followers don't know that either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to take, man. I don't know. I'm amazed, Brando and Wiseacre, with you guys who are around these, just in the vicinity of these folks, man.
Thanks, Jackie.
That's got to be
Well,
hard.
one thing that I've done with friends that are
Jackie.
right-leaning is I will use ChatGPT, and I will ask it the questions they are asking, and it will tell them these things. Like, it won't be coming from me, a liberal, and they usually shut up pretty quick. Like, well, they're wrong half the time. I'm like, this is not subjective information. This is law. It's out there.
Interesting.
Like, well,
Heather, the answer to your question is yes.
Heather said, as a lawyer, do you constantly feel like you're going insane listening to this? Yeah, Attorney Di can probably relate to that. Jackie says, did you see Chris Murphy give his speech about the corruption the first 100 days of freaking visual aids? It's on Substack. I have not seen that.
No, can't imagine.
But that sounds like something that could be good medicine. Yeah.
Falcon, am I on Substack?
Yeah, you are. You're doing quite well there.
Oh. All right.
I'm just making that up.
That's good to know.
No, you are on Substack, even though you've never looked at it. And I don't know. I think I post stuff there.
But we know where he's doing the best is OnlyFans.
I think today.
Hey.
Yeah, I think today I got, I was in a mood this morning and I got up and I just started rifling off stuff on like Blue Sky and stuff. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is Hawk's account.
I saw that. I saw that. I opened up Blue Sky. I opened up Blue Sky when I was at lunch, and I was like, "Oh, brother's putting some stuff up here." Okay.
Yeah, you had some things to say this morning, apparently. What are you gonna do, man? I was like, well, I think it's all.
That's
I think
funny.
it's all legit, but yeah. So, but yeah, you are on Substack. So yeah, if you ever decide you want to do some writing, you can do it on Substack. But
you can also have transcripts of any of your videos and just put them on Substack.
I thought of that.
Well,
I thought of that
good
would be a
point.
pretty good
I
idea.
have those anyways. That's right. Yeah. I mean, I assume Substack favors writing over Wiseacre. I should always come to you first, man.
A lot of this is my job, so I do know some of this stuff.
What's the handle for Substack?
That's
Paige
good.
is asking. Well, that's a good question. I don't have it under his thing here. I think it's MDG 650 Hawk on Substack. So, but it's mostly, it's mostly just YouTube videos and then me pretending to be Hawk sometimes.
Yes, that is the correct URL.
But I do like Substack. I think it's cool.
You can do audio and video on Substack, or just writing?
I think
you can do video too,
and you can do lives, right?
Yep, you can do lives.
I think
everyone is doing it now.
I know. It's the new place.
I mean, did you know that LinkedIn also does short video form? I mean,
I didn't know that.
I've never been on LinkedIn. I mean, I have a LinkedIn thing from 15 years ago.
But hey, you can own the whole LinkedIn market if you want.
Right.
It's not accessible.
Yeah. Eric, that's a good point, man. Sorry about your son. His girlfriend is undocumented. My granddaughter was born here. I worry every day about them. Yeah. Where are you, Eric? I wonder where you're located. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's the kind of shit that makes it hard to sleep at night. For me, I can only imagine what it's like for you. Yeah, the Bulwark does a lot of live videos on Substack. I see a lot of people doing lives on Substack, so yeah. Brando, what instrument do you play? Any songwriting? Stu is asking.
Yeah, I play guitar mainly. Although I have played bass on a couple of recordings here lately, but guitar is my main instrument. And I've wrote a lot of songs. Got a bunch of albums out there. If you look up Tennessee Brando on Spotify, you can find my music there. Or if you look up Brandon Fulson, Fulson, you can find more of my albums that I made before this all took off. So,
oh, really? You had an alternate.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I didn't intend like this name. I just accidentally stumbled onto it. It was one of those things where it was when I went to do TikTok and it started blowing up, and I was like, okay, it's blowing up with politics and not music. So I was just going to shorten it to Brando because that's what all my friends call me. My grandmother always called me that. And I was like, I'll just be Brando. And then TikTok said that name was taken. And of course it was, something that common. And so I just thought, well, I'll put a T in and an underscore, and I'm just Brando from Tennessee. And I just went like that. Well, then all of a sudden people started stitching my videos going, hey, it's Tennessee Brando. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just rolled with it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
I'll just take it.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
But yeah.
It was handed to you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Clifton, I keep saying my audio is too low. I know. I don't know what to do about it. I just keep turning it up. It just keeps turning me down. Story of my life here. Mod's cracking me up in the chat. So let's see. MDG 650 Hawk on Substack. Mm-hmm. There it is.
Cool.
Right on. Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, Hawk, you should go check out your Substack page, man.
I think you can.
If you do, please like and comment on some videos for.
Yes, and engage.
For engagement.
Yeah. It's all.
I don't think there's anything on the page. I just went, but you can do repurpose to it, I believe.
To Substack?
I think.
I don't know. No, I don't think Substack has an API. I don't think you can. Brando, are you in a regular band right now, or you kind of have
No,
your own?
I've just been doing this now. I don't really play. I'm actually going to be playing a show. First time I played one in a long time on May 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee, and going to be able to do the political tunes I'm writing. It's more of like a
Ah,
hippie
cool,
kind of
man.
event. So, when I get asked to play, I do. But I've really just been enjoying doing this, and then I record music in the studio. That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Recording some
Nice.
new songs. And there's never a shortage of material to write about. So
Very cool. Very
it's
cool.
same with the videos. You can. It took me a little while to kind of figure out how to bring the two together because, like I said, I always in the music and the songs I wrote. I think if you listen to albums I made 10 years ago, you probably could tell which way I leaned politically. It's just that I didn't come out as loud with it. I would kind of sometimes say it through characters,
Right.
And then I don't know. It just once this all took off, I just went ahead and just took the gloves off and
You
started
just
playing.
scraped the subtlety right off the
Yeah,
top. You're
just
like,
forget
enough of this
yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah,
So we got Mr. Global in the house too.
awesome.
Welcome, Mr. Global. Thank you for. I think he.
Hey, thanks for duetting my promo video for
Yeah,
this
that was very cool.
yesterday.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool. So Knoxville is more liberal then, if you're going to be able to play, or you're just going to an event that's more.
I'm just going to an event there. Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
it's like a commenter earlier made a good point. It's kind of the city of Knoxville is more liberal, and then the county's not. So
Okay.
That's probably true of almost every city anywhere.
I would think so. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty
true.
I do
common.
drive through Knoxville. I go to Atlanta frequently, and there's that one Trump store that I pass every time going through Knoxville.
Yeah.
You haven't gone in yet, huh?
I want to throw something at it, but it's kind of hard.
Don't do that, man.
I do flip it off every time I drive by, though.
Well, I've heard that amongst the MAGAs, it is totally acceptable to throw your own fecal matter.
That's true.
It's true. I could take a shit right on their sidewalk. I'm sure they would be cool with that.
No, I'm pretty sure you have to do that into your hand, and then you can throw it.
Oh, I have to monkey it. Okay.
Yeah. It's that critical extra step.
I gotta bring those gloves. I gotta bring gloves. I gotta remember to bring gloves.
Yeah. Tennessee Brando, where are you performing? Is it open to the public?
Yeah, it's called the Vestal Festival. It's South Knoxville. So yeah, it's going to be down in South Knoxville at the Vestal Festival. I'm playing 3:30 to 5 on May 10th.
Cool.
So yeah, it'll be
So
cool.
it's
I
like
need to create an event for that. I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. What's funny, I've not played shows in so long. I've been like, I need to create an event for that, and I'm so bad with like I have to set alarms on my phone for everything, or I'll
dude, I'm with you. I'm so with you, man.
So yeah, like today, I got a little notification this morning. Podcast with Hawk and Falcon later.
Oh man, I had so many notifications set up for this. I'm like, okay, make sure you text Brando, remind him.
Yeah.
Make sure you promote the live. Make sure you do this. Make sure you tell Hawk. It's just, I would be cooked without the alarms, man.
Me too.
What's your take? Forever Lover says, guys, what's your take on this 2025 with giving police immunity and martial law coming into communities?
We'll see.
Every single adult in this country should own at least 3 firearms and 1,000 rounds of ammunition for each one of them.
Okay, there we go. The voice of reason.
Get that balloon going up.
There we have it.
Handgun, shotgun, rifle. There you go.
I don't.
You'll be fine.
Flamethrower? Is that gonna?
I saw you can buy those in the TikTok shop.
Depends on your skills, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Or the flammability of your home.
Julie said Vestal is an eclectic area. She'll be there. Love it.
Awesome.
Vestal is the name of a town, or like
it's a little community in South Knoxville.
A part of Knoxville. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. Cool. Green Font says, do not be scared of martial law. It's not logistically possible to maintain in this country.
I mean, it's not logistically possible to do it nationwide all at once.
Yeah, they'll
do it in areas
certain areas, right?
And I bet it will
they'll probably start with just like the city of Chicago,
Yeah, they'll go blue areas for sure.
That's what I think, man. Just like, it's going to be
it's
kind of
way too
scare
big of a country,
tactic, right? It's gonna provide a lot of press and a lot of attention, and
Oh,
Three
so this
three
was
cans of wasp spray will be surprisingly effective.
That's right, Chris.
so I have a question for you, Hawk, related to the Milwaukee judge
Yeah.
and the fact that they had to put her on leave. Is that a practice that all courts would have to do for any judge?
No, that was an individual decision made by the
Okay.
Wisconsin Supreme Court. The state Supreme Court usually handles discipline issues for state judges for each given state. But she's got a 2-count federal felony indictment against her, and so they suspended her until that's resolved.
I just thought that I had the fear came through my head, like, oh no, is that their tactic to throw frivolous FBI, DOJ based things at all sorts of judges to get them knocked out of the court, even though the case will probably fall apart?
Well, she's a state judge.
Okay.
So that result might be different state by state, but I mean, I did like a 12 or 13 minute long video on this issue today on my YouTube page. It's just to intimidate judges. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
That's all it is.
It's like a fear tactic, right?
Well, everything they do is a fear tactic, and because sometimes it's working.
This is true.
Thank you, Paramount. And the worst thing is, like, the whole Harvard thing was a mistake, as far as I have read. Right? Like, that letter was sent by a mistake.
Wow,
it was not a mistake because they sent 2 more letters after that first one demanding additional stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was because they sent the letter. They didn't know they had sent it. Harvard responded with getting lawyers and like, okay, well, we're just going with it now because they can't ever admit to being wrong.
This is interesting. Karen said, a friend of mine invited me to an all-female shooting event. They're promoting membership. It's free lunch and range time. Where is that, Karen? That's interesting. Very interesting. Do you know many military people, Brando?
I've got a couple of friends that are.
What's their take? I mean, I'm always curious what people in active military or even ex-military.
Well, the ones that I know are more like-minded, and it's one of those things where they're just, it's not normal. It's like none of this is. It's like one of those things that it's a matter of, I've even had some say that they didn't know what they would do in certain situations.
Right.
Yeah,
I can totally see that.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough because they're to uphold the Constitution, not the president, and not meant to, do orders that would go against that. It's got to be really. They're going to be put into some tough situations, I would think, pretty soon here.
Yeah. Oh, Blue Side of History says, Falcon, did you get a chance to tell Hawk how highly Thorne spoke of him? Yeah, I did.
He did tell me. I was very happy to hear that.
I was on I jumped
I
on
love
a
Thorne.
live.
He's awesome.
I saw Thorne did a live on Twitch. And I think he was live on TikTok, and then he said he was on Twitch. So I'm like, I'm going to open that app and see, because I created a Hawk live stream account for Twitch like, I don't know, a year ago that I've never logged into again. And he's like, is that Hawk from TikTok? I'm like, well, it's Hawk's brother. He's like, Hawk's brother? Hawk has a brother? But he had some very nice things to say about you, Hawk. It was quite nice.
That's awesome.
You made a good impression. Apparently. My biggest question, and Chromatic Daisy says, my biggest question is, where are the Dems in Congress? They should be showing fangs. I agree.
Should be.
I agree, man. I don't know. And the one thing this has all shown me is that I know very little about what happens inside closed doors of that place. There's a lot of hierarchy and power struggles, I think. But
and what I get tired of is hearing about, well, behind closed doors, they're very upset with Trump. Like, I don't care what they do behind closed doors. Do it in front of people.
Yeah, we need to hear it. No doubt.
But then you have like Elisa Murkowski, who's literally terrified.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, it's a scary thing to have, But you know, when you have a journalist that sits down with him and is willing to press him and show that kind of, you know, I mean, that guy, granted, wasn't like as aggressive as I would have loved, but you know, being even mildly aggressive with Trump is a risky play, you know.
Mm.
So, you know, 20,000 UPS workers out of work today. Yeah, I mean, the shipping thing is that's gonna have a ripple effect, man. The lack of shipping.
Shipping container volume is going to be down like 35 or 40% next week.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Oh, it's fine.
in
I'm just
many
kidding.
ways.
Totally kidding.
Terry Moran, yeah, that's his name. So Brando, you can bounce out of here anytime, man. This is like
Thanks a lot.
this
Cool,
is just
man.
what
I
we
really,
do. I just want to give you full permission to
yeah.
to dip.
No, I really appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk with y'all, man. I watch Hawk every day. It's like never fail.
Likewise, brother.
Especially, you know, when it comes to legal matters and stuff, because I'm like, I gotta figure, you know, I don't know anything about that. I gotta figure it out. So I'm always interested to hear his takes, especially with like you said, all the stuff that's going on. It's we just kind of all got to stick together and learn from one another, you know.
Yep.
So
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in that arena right now. If you ever have a question about something that I don't make a video about, just shoot me a text message and I'll make a video.
sounds great, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's I kind of take it for granted that I have him at text reach at any moment. I'm always like, what does this mean? Is this bad? Is this good? Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it's there's a lot to it, but I mean, I'm encouraged by just the consistency of legal challenges and legal losses. You know, it shows me that something is working. I don't know what that means in the long run, but it would be really bad if it wasn't working in that way, you know. So you know, I'll take what I can get at this point.
Yeah.
Let's see how low is it turned my volume down. Oh, only down to 50%. I must be doing better. God. Just when I thought I had it all sorted out. Hawk is prolific,
well,
Eric says. Yes.
Thanks, Eric. It's time for me to hop off.
Oh, Hawk's going to dip too. So, Brando, you can dip. This is where Wiseacre and I just left here abandoned and dealing with our abandonment trauma.
There, see, there, Mr. Global shows the benefit of watching my videos. Hawk has taught me how to bend 47 laws without breaking them.
That's right. Only 47? I mean, come on, man.
It's been a light week,
Thanks,
know?
Raymond.
All right.
That's funny. All right, Hawk's out.
I'll be in and out for the next half hour or so.
Dude,
but
you
I'll
made
see
it.
you guys.
You made it to 6:30 this time. That's pretty.
I always go to 90 minutes.
I think it was my idea to put Hawk in. I made him go to his room instead of being out here on the sofa, because when he's out here on the sofa,
I mean, it's like I fall asleep when I'm on the sofa, man. Like tonight I'm at my desk.
Yeah, so I made him go to his desk. I think it worked out better.
That couch is comfortable.
Yeah, he just sinks into the couch. Next thing I know, he's asleep over there.
And I'm like,
So Raymond has a question for you.
Made for him.
Wouldn't companies ordering before the tariffs and people panic buying have the impact of raising GDP, not lowering it? I don't think it's maybe a little bit, but I don't know what the impact
who knows,
of that
man.
is. I don't know.
I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be that would be very short term. It's not going to last.
Short term, yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt. So,
all right, I'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
All right, sounds good.
That was great talking to you, man.
Brando, thanks
You
a
too,
lot,
brother.
man. If you're gonna bail, let me know.
Yeah, I probably need to
Yeah,
go
let me know your next
dude.
time out here in California, brother.
I'll do it, man. I'll give you a holler.
All right, cool,
All right,
man.
cool.
Thanks a lot for
Thank
coming
you.
on. All right, Wiseacre, you ready for this? This is going to be some studio magic right here. Oh, dude.
It worked. Look at that. How
Is
did
that
you just?
amazing? I'm
That
so
was
freaking
well
proud of
done.
myself.
Well
Look at
done. Go get a treat.
that is
Go get some sweethearts.
If I had a better camera and this thing stopped turning me down, this whole thing would be just peachy, man. But I don't know. What am I gonna do, man? All right, that was cool, man. I was glad having.
Now we can watch the watching. Just
That's right. Yeah, this is where everybody bails. I haven't even been paying attention to how many people.
Everyone's like, oh well, the interesting people,
the cool people have left the chat.
The people that I actually care about watching their videos.
That's right.
Like, what, don't you want to watch me doing bad videos?
But one of the cool people said they're coming back. So
that's
those
true.
of you who are
we'll
about
see
to bounce,
him do some flybys behind.
That's right. I have a thing for that too. We'll see if it works.
Do you have someone in there holding a Steadicam? Or you're gonna
no, it's not that sophisticated. But I like that idea. I do like that idea. So, I think I asked you this earlier, Wiseacre. How are you maintaining your sanity? Or are you?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, you had that video with the car door thing. That was good, man. Come on, that was.
I try to find ways
to be making some top tier content.
I've been trying to find ways to try to be funny because I need that. Who doesn't right now?
It's working, man.
But also to try to make a point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the fun challenge is try to say something but be funny about it. Because I just posted one this evening that's I'm making fun of Mitch McConnell and other Democrats. Are like, I'm writing a strongly worded letter.
Oh my god, that was really something. Yeah, we've written
made
some
them into
very
like an
strong letters.
Like, oh my god, yeah. Good luck with your strongly worded letters. It's really going to shame them.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, try to find humor. And at least for me, that helps.
Z said I'm 68 miles north of Columbus. Is that Mansfield?
That is
scary close to Mansfield.
Is it north or northeast?
That's a good question. What is it?
What's I knew someone from Van Wert. Do you know Van Wert? You ever heard of Van Wert?
I've heard of it. What's the
it's up that way?
Let's see if I can remember this. Is it? What's the highway that goes straight from Columbus up?
71.
71. That's it. I was gonna say 60.
75 goes Dayton towards Detroit.
Right. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, clever creations. You just missed Brando, man. He just left, but you can watch the recording later if you want.
So someone just came in now?
Yeah,
a little
they
late.
Just saw it.
Hey,
they probably just stumbled upon it, you know.
They probably don't know. The time change
says we need funny, Wiseacre. We do. We absolutely do, man.
I do my best.
That was 71 South. Okay. Yeah, I remember 71.
Yeah, we're literally. I can't even talk.
Ken Dungeon said, "Don't worry, Schumer gave Trump a good glare. Everything will work out." That's about right. He
did his glasses like this. Well, I'm very. I mean, I just imagine him talking like an old timey 1920s. Well, we wrote a letter, and it was sent via courier immediately, and he will be reprimanded. Like it's just ridiculous.
Angel Bean said, "Aaron, you're the master mod so fast." I'm with you. Aaron is like.
Yeah, I don't ever see any kind of.
Oh, Aaron's got like ninja skills. Aaron and Lori, man, they're. Tia says, "I'm back from feeding and drugging old people. What did I miss?" All right.
Oh boy, I hope that is with their permission.
Is that a hobby or is that a job?
Is this a confession of a serial killer happening?
That's right. Melissa, we haven't done a poll yet tonight. What kind of poll do you guys want?
A dancing one. Dad jokes.
If I wore my Elon Musk shirt to the grocery to stock up on food. Did you get any comments?
Which one? The DEI one or the felon one?
Probably the felon one. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done a poll. What do you guys want to do a poll on? I'm looking over here because I'm looking at the comments.
Why so many dogs and cats? I guess it's as good as mine on that one. I don't want that many dogs.
Yeah.
You can talk to someone else who's
an Alzheimer's nurse. Oh, that's nice.
That's good. That's great. Oh, that's got to be tough. Oh, that's got to be tough.
Greg wants a poll.
There was a great Netflix show recently with Ted Danson, and I can't remember the name of it. Man on the Inside, I think it's called. It's really good. It's funny, but it's also like it's really good.
I think I saw one episode of that, but I didn't finish watching it.
It's really good. It deals with people in old folks' homes and transitional care and like this whole area for people that go to this one area is terrifying to them because it's like your
Right.
last stage kind of. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul, if Trump puts his face
Oh,
on
clever,
Rushmore,
crazy.
he's
My
not
father
gonna
was
put his
born in Youngstown. I'm from California, but always loved my visits to Youngstown. Interesting. Youngstown has a mafia history, doesn't it, or something like that? I always heard that. I don't know if that was true, but
I don't know.
I don't
I
think
don't
I
know
ever.
much about Youngstown.
Yeah, I don't either. So I did see that Trump is willing to be the Pope, if that's anybody's.
Yeah, because he's being asked.
Yeah, just because. You know,
That's just the funniest thing. He's like,
you
I'm willing
guys-
to be Pope. I'm like, who the fuck is asking you to be?
if you guys, if you want, I'll do it.
Yeah, we'd certainly want a guy who's not Catholic to be the Pope.
Sorry about that, Amy.
If they want me to be Pope, yeah, I'm sure Conclave right now, they're like,
Yeah,
have we
they're
considered?
like, hold on, just in.
Did you see, by the way, did you see Conclave?
No,
You didn't?
no, is that?
You don't have to be, I'm not Catholic, so I,
don't
had
even know
nothing,
what
but
you're
it's
talking about. Is it a show or a
the movie. It's a movie
No,
with Ray Fiennes and
no.
John
I
Lithgow.
think I
and
saw a preview for it. Yeah,
it
was that
was on
streaming
Peacock.
or is that a real movie?
Yeah, it's streaming somewhere. I just don't remember where. I saw it on
Yeah.
Peacock, but I don't know if it's there anymore.
Okay, yeah.
It's really good. Like, and I mean,
Ray Fiennes is pretty amazing.
it's surprising. It's surprisingly good because I did not
Okay.
care. I'm not Catholic. I don't care, and it's
Oh, wow.
barely really about that.
Patricia
Good.
said, I grew up in Sebastopol. Now I live in Metropolis. Wow, awesome. I like Sebastopol.
Metropolis is a real place. It's not
Seems like
a
it.
comic book place.
Oh, man, Mason, come on. That's not nice. I miss Hawk and Brando.
See, that's I knew that
Come
was going to
on.
happen. It was like these
That's
guys
all
are
right.
just.
I still love you,
don't know what they
Wiseacre,
do.
man. We're pulling our
Yeah.
weight here.
You know, we're just here for each other. That's
Oh,
why
we
they
got-
can just.
There's still some people here.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said it's free on Prime now.
Okay, because it was on Peacock. I don't know if it's there
Thanks,
anymore.
Mitsu. Yeah, Prime. Damn Prime.
Fucking Prime. I'll give you a
Oh,
Prime.
man.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. That's right, Dr. Bean. That's not nice.
But I get it.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
do too.
nice. It's just it's not nice. But what mostly it's just not nice to have it confirmed.
Aaron said Mason, first warning. That's hilarious.
Countdown.
Yeah.
Put a thing on the screen, but there we can put strike one.
That's right, Mason. Say you're sorry. See, Willis got it. The cool kids are still here. Poll idea: will JD Vance be worse if Trump croaks?
A lot of people ask this. A lot of people.
I mean, my take on that is that no one can replace Trump. I
Yep.
don't think anybody can replace him, and certainly JD Vance is like void of a personality. I don't think anybody likes
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
But he will be president if that were to happen. You know.
I mean, if Trump were to,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think
No,
he'll
he's-
I mean, I think what would happen is that the people that are actually making the decisions and doing the things would be somewhat relieved because they wouldn't have to deal with Trumpiness.
I think it would
Better
release a lot
word.
of people from
Thank
having
you,
to feel
Ann.
like they have to conform to what he does.
That's right.
Also, I mean, the entire Republican Party has been dismantled and remade the way Trump wants it.
Right.
What are they going to do when he's not there?
I mean, it's a good point. They're gonna lose
It's going to be
at
a mess.
least 50% of the base.
It's going to be a real
Because it's a
shit show
cult
for-
of personality, and you take that personality away, and I think it's going to be hard to replace.
Well, that's why they're doing the third term thing, because they know what they've done.
Yeah.
They've created a party that is him, not
Yep.
anything else.
Yep.
I have an update when you're ready.
Somebody. Oh, Hawk has an update for everybody.
Is it about a poop?
Hawk has an update. He looks
BM.
strangely like
It's a BM
Matt
report.
Foley right now.
That's pretty rude.
That was the hair. It was all the hair. Your hair was like fell into a bowl cut.
It's windy outside.
Yeah.
The van.
There are massive, out of control wildfires burning in Israel outside of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
The fires were started by settlers in the West Bank.
Really?
Nice.
And then the wind direction changed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
their
so they did it
their
to
own People
themselves.
started the fires.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Thanks a lot,
Wiseacre,
Biden.
Heather said you had a single white female fan in here earlier. She got booted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I can ask the mods to let him stick around a little longer if you need that kind of boost. Give him a little time to enjoy it. Thank you, Raymond.
Just give me little obsessions. I like
After
it.
he's gone, there will be a power struggle, which will. Oh, there's no question. You're totally right, Raymond. It'll be like
Everyone's like, it'll be one of Trump's kids. I'm like, oh, I think people
way.
hate them more than they hate GDP.
they do, but you're right. It's going to be a bloodbath of power.
Because the
struggle.
only reason anyone likes anyone who isn't Trump is because those people like
There's
Trump.
a comment for you. Wiseacre say pumpkin.
Pumpkin, listen, Pumpkin. Hey, Pumpkin.
Oh my
You're wrong.
god, that's hilarious.
That's what I say to pagan people. Hey, listen, Pumpkin, you got it all wrong.
That's right.
Doing my best, Andrewski.
So Aaron Hawk said that there are fires breaking out in Israel near Jerusalem. The fires were started in the West Bank by Israeli settlers, and the wind shifted and took those fires into Israel instead of into the West Bank where they intended. Could be karma.
Man, the war crimes that they are committing. Whew.
Rough. No doubt. No doubt.
There was a
Angel Bean said
this
your
American line.
single white female was aggressive. I thought I saw
Wow.
one comment that for like a millisecond that said
Was it someone named
something-
Sandy? Because I
something
had
about
her
the
in my
guy
live.
in the
and she-
lower right, and then I looked up and it was just gone.
That guy in the lower right.
I kind of wish we could bring those back.
Fuck off.
We could archive those so we could be entertained by them later.
I mean, people are always never telling me that they're obsessed with me.
Now, Stu, I have a volume problem here. My volume's going. My mic's going through loopback. Loopback keeps turning my volume down. I don't know why. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna ditch that software.
Is it not recognizing your headphones?
No, it recognizes everything. It's literally like loopback. It's just a virtual mixer, and it literally just turns my volume down. Like I'm watching it right now. It just turns it down.
It's just like, you know what? Just
There's
gotta
no
bring it
control. There's no way to lock it. There's no. It's just fucking absurd.
what is it? Ross from Friends? Sorry, it's a Friends joke that most people won't get when he goes.
It's just absurd. I don't know. Every other thing is off. I don't get it. And maybe it thinks it's like peaking or something. No, I just talk.
I can hear Hawk in the background. It was better than you.
I say a few words and it takes me down to 60%.
Well, now all the background noise is quieted down.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't know. Flurry Fleur.
Sorry,
What a
just
name.
comment there.
Recently found you guys. I really appreciate your channel. You're good people. Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
She said Falcon made her estrogen wake up.
Excuse me? No. That is not okay, man. I thought it was a Wiseacre stalker, not a Falcon stalker.
No, but I love that as a. I made the dog start barking because I laughed.
Oh
so much.
man.
Oh,
Okay,
that's funny.
so it was less than it was more than just a Wiseacre stalker. Okay, I sound fine to some people. I appreciate that.
You sound fine.
Late to the show. I'm a native of Vance's hometown, Middletown, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm
Mom's family's-
real close to Middletown.
Yeah. Mom's family's near Brando. Loving watching your homies tonight. Awesome. Thank you,
Middletown
Cindy.
could not feel more like the South in some ways.
Yeah, I bet. So I don't know. Did Wiseacre have the stalker? We both had a stalker? Is that what somebody's saying?
It's probably just someone who was trying to rile everything
I'm not
up.
blushing. I don't know why, but this video is making me look like I've fucking been out in the sun all day, which I haven't. And I mean, it's like I got a massive skin tone problem with this camera. It's trying to balance all this and
Oh, yeah, that's
it's
probably
making
right.
me red. It's just an iPhone, you know. These cameras are not as good as they think. But I have it connected with the continuity camera, so I have no control over it. But
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
so
use
you
a
could
real
set
camera.
the white balance on them.
I don't know if you can with the continuity camera thing. Can
I
you?
don't know about that. I know you can
Yeah,
with the camera, but not
that's
the.
what I'm saying. Thank you, Westy. Thanks for coming. Barb has family in the Mansfield area. That's where my brother and I are from. I'm sorry to say. I don't know
Sorry to say that I'm from a place.
if we have any family left there or not. New merch, Falcon, your estrogen awakener. No. No.
Got dormant estrogen?
Yeah, exactly. Grace said, did anybody see the news about different volcanoes erupting around the world? I did not. I did not see that. But
we're trying to say that's related to
it's just the world's
all
not
the pressure
happy.
of the world.
Yeah, it could be.
Get the fuck off of me.
Lily, your arms are fine. Just the face is red. I don't know what's going on, man.
Get a mirror. See if you're.
I know.
Does it look red in camera or just on?
No, it looks
stream?
red to me. It looks red. What I'm seeing, it looks freaking bright red. I don't know what's going on. Better red than orange. That's true. It's a good point.
Check that blood pressure.
Yep. Let's see here. Man, it's kind of a weird thing doing these lives. Like, you know, when, like, I don't know if anybody's gonna talk, and I feel like I gotta keep it going. Especially when we got somebody new. When it's just me and you and Hawk, we don't care. But then you get somebody new in, and it's like
you got to interview a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I have these expectations. Like I got to make it worth their time.
I mean, I guess you could come up with little segments or something. Although that can get a little rote.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, like we have 5 questions we ask everybody, but
yeah, then I know. I don't know. It's still a work in progress. This live thing.
Yeah, but also people like the randomness of it too.
I think so. What do you guys think in the chat? You like the randomness of it?
Let's wait 3 minutes till they catch up to the video.
Exactly. Yeah. Stand by. Just sit here in silence.
Why we just
sit
here? Everyone's favorite thing is just to watch people looking off to the side.
That's right. Exactly.
Highly engaging content.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some lighting issue. I'm all front lit. I'm all red.
My camera is always very yellow because my light is very yellow.
Well, it looks great compared to mine.
I look very warm and.
Yeah, I love it. You have some kind of a log thing on there.
You mean I have a fireplace?
I don't mean. I mean on the camera.
Like I can do it's a Sony, just a regular point and shoot.
Yeah. People like random. There it is. A couple minutes later.
Yeah. Just
like forward to this weekly chat. Appreciate that.
We're totally Duran. 2 minutes later.
Jenna said, "Do you guys know anyone leaving the country? My daughter's over the Atlantic as we chat." No, I don't. But I think it would be not a bad idea. But I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, part of me wouldn't mind trying to get out of here, but at the same time, it's also my fucking country, and I'm not
exactly. Yeah, I feel that too, man. It's like fuck you, man. Let's get these assholes to leave. They've never been anywhere though. Yeah,
they wouldn't know what to do if they had to go to any foreign country.
Tia said, "I'm showing 800 people. I don't think we have 800 people here now.
No, 571,
570, 555. Wow, we just lost 20 just because I looked.
Wow, yeah, that happened fast. What did we do? What the hell did we do? Jesus. Do we have to start dancing?
I know, Sherry. I am unusually red tonight. This is a bad lighting situation. And this it's the first time I've used this phone for this. And
usually you have the kitchen behind you too.
I thought it would be better, because it's a new phone and it's worse, and I'm deeply disappointed.
The new iPhone?
Yeah.
With the Pro Max or
no, not the Max, just
do
the
they even
Pro.
do that anymore?
They do, yeah.
With the 16,000 cameras on the back?
Yeah, it's the same
Does that have
cameras,
cinema?
though.
The
It
cinematic
does,
mode?
yeah.
Which is nice.
Is that the one you use?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that, though, with
Live.
if you can force continuity camera to use a certain thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, people say random is comforting. That's what Lynn says.
Yeah. We all need a little bit of comfort.
I used to live in Medina. It was a cool little place when you lived there in the 60s. Not cool now, I don't think. Come up with a hot
Is that how you say it? You say Medina? I always said that wrong.
What do you say? Medina?
Medina.
Wow.
Who knows? The way they pronounce things.
All right, people want a poll. What are we going to do a poll on here? I do play an instrument. I play guitar.
And I play drums.
You do?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
How did I not know this?
I don't know.
Why have I never seen you play the drums?
I need to do a little tour. Well,
man, come on.
I'll do a video with
Yeah, I want to see that video.
I did a pandemic purchase.
A drum
I
kit?
bought an electric kit.
Oh,
with
nice.
the real, had the real, so it looked like a real kit because I hated electric kits because I'm like, I don't want to have these stupid little thin, but it's like the real depth shells.
Oh, okay.
Way too much.
I want to see this.
But because it's too loud to play in the house with all these dogs and stuff. So I'll do
even though it's just electric, you can still hear like some acoustic.
Well, it has tuner. You can tune the heads.
That's cool,
all of it.
man.
It's really cool.
That's really cool.
I spent way too much money.
But
I got it from Sweetwater. Have you ever heard of Sweetwater?
Oh yeah,
they're amazing.
Every musician has heard of Sweetwater.
Yeah, they're amazing.
More than they want to know.
So I spent so much that I have a personal rep.
That's scary. I think Hawk
I'm sure
probably
Hawk
does
must
too.
have if he's ever ordered.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see some drum action. Oh, somebody said you lean forward, your skin tone seems more normal. It looks just red as hell to me, but yeah, I got it. I mean, just when I think I've sorted something out, I was all excited tonight. Now it keeps turning my volume down, and my face is bright fucking red for some reason. Come on, man. What the hell?
You got to start wearing some makeup.
I need to get some powder.
You just ask Pete. I always want to call him Pig. Pig Hegseth.
Pig Hog's Breath.
Yes, exactly. He knows all about makeup.
Eric said the new electric heads feel nice. The cymbals are hard to adjust to. I bet.
Yeah, because they're heavy
it doesn't
rubber.
Feel like cymbals, right?
They're big, heavy rubber things. It is weird. Although the ride is fine because rides are always a little bit thicker anyway.
Yeah.
You can fine tune so many things. It's kind of fun.
That's kind of
so
cool,
I have different tunings for what I might play to, and you can run I have my iPhone running through it, so I have headphones I can play to something.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
I need to find a. Barb says maybe the red face is what woke up everyone's estrogen. Oh, God. Good Lord,
I don't want to know what that is implying.
No. Val, can you point to the Waldo in the painting behind you? Yeah. That looked like where's Waldo? Poll traveling for vacation. That's an interesting poll.
What's a vacation?
If anyone is traveling, I don't think anybody's traveling anywhere, right?
I haven't gone on a vacation in 15 years, probably.
I don't go on vacations. I just stay here.
We just can't afford it. We'd have to board 4 dogs.
Oh man,
that would cost more than the vacation for us.
That's right. Yeah, they'd be like, let's see, it's $100 a day per dog, and this one is special needs, so you're going to be $150 for that one.
Exactly. Like so
that'll
be $5,000 for you to go. Exactly. We're like, Yeah. Okay. No.
Just for your dog. It's too bad you don't have one of those neighbors, man, that just loves animals that can.
Yeah.
Dog sitters are
Any
hard to
neighbor that
find,
likes
man.
them, they wouldn't want to do. They wouldn't want to do 4 dogs
Yeah.
plus the cats.
So
But their cats are easy though.
we have a suggestion for a hawk and wiseacre drum off.
That would be hard. I don't know what that. I don't know how. What. One, mine's electric, so you wouldn't be able to hear it. I'd have to like. Can you hear that? 'Cause-
Spirit Fire. So who gets the gift of the membership?
Oh. Someone's mad. Someone's mad over
Hey,
there.
Lola, come on,
I
man.
hear some growls.
We're still live here. Knock it off. Knock it off.
How did she not know?
I don't know. I guess when you gift a membership, it just goes randomly to people. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how that works?
Yeah. I think it just goes random, total random. Yeah, Hawk has a video on TikTok explaining the painting.
Most Hiltons let you have dogs. 4 of them?
Yeah.
They'd be like, wow, this is like our littles would be fine. They're
It'd
probably
be a
easy
stretch,
to smoke
wouldn't
on.
it? Yeah. Yeah.
They would probably look at us like, come on. No.
Yeah.
No. One of these is almost a horse. No.
Yeah, you got to have a relative. That's right, Karen.
Yeah, we got no relatives.
Yeah, Lola's really fired up. She saw somebody else.
Yeah, I heard it
outside.
go.
Yeah, she's still going.
Must be someone out there that she's not
Yeah.
a fan of.
Let's see. So I have to.
Take that as an
my
alarm,
list.
though. Lola will let you know if ice is on the way. That's for sure.
I got to fix the volume. Fix my beet red face.
Lola, you write notes for yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
because I'll never
fix-
remember.
fix
I'll
my
just show up
face?
here again and it'll all be the same again. What was the
no,
other
fix
thing?
my face, and then tomorrow you'll be like,
Yeah,
what is
fix
that
my
about?
face. There was one other thing that stopped working, but I can't remember that.
Well, we figured out the sound. That worked.
Yeah, we figured out that was good. That was good. I need
Oh,
to
you
just-
wanted to figure out how to bring people on?
Oh yeah, that was it. Thank you. Drop-ins.
Drop-ins.
Yeah, we might have to try that one, just the 3 of us, and then.
Chat roulette.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Whoa. Not happy.
It's the same people that walk up the stairs every day. Lola, chill. Hey.
Just letting you know. Just letting
You know that's not cool.
Uncool, Lola.
Yeah, Aaron, thanks for
Uncool.
gifting the memberships. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So look, Aaron gifted the membership, and Lynn received the gifted membership. That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
It's just a total rando. I love it. Yeah, Lola's in a mood for sure, man. Yeah, the karaoke neighbors, but they don't do karaoke anymore. Hawk put a stop to that. He sent some strong sentences, just like Chuck
A
Schumer
strongly
did.
worded letter.
Strongly worded letter.
And boy,
Except it was just to a property manager, not to the president.
that makes sense to send a letter to a property management.
That's right.
Not so much to send a strongly worded letter of disappointment to
Barb
the
said,
president.
word will get out about Falcon. The ladies will be flocking here to have their estrogen turned on. Lovely. Can't wait for that. Tia said YouTube chooses. Yeah, it's kind of a random thing. That's cool. Yeah. So, yeah, strongly worded letter took care of the... Oh, thanks, Lori. Lori gifted one, too. Who got that one?
Hawk put on his glasses, bottom right low, and
I
went,
don't see it. And does Hawk think he's
Somebody's
on here
like
right
it.
now?
Is he talking back there?
Hawk, do you think you're on here right now? No. He doesn't.
He's
I
doing
can
a TikTok
put you
thing.
on here if you want.
He's doing-
He's working on other stuff, he says. Did you name Lola after the Kinks song?
La, la, la,
I don't
la,
think so. I think
la,
Lola
la.
came with that name.
Oh,
Did Lola get her name from the Kinks?
No, Marie picked it.
No,
My ex.
his ex picked it.
When we first got her, her name was Mona.
Oh, Mona.
Ooh, Mona's not great.
Yeah, that was a good call. See, I'm less red now. This is all about the light that was coming in, reflecting. It's trying to balance. I'm still red, but it's like 20% less. It's trying to auto white balance against all this shit. Spiritfire probably, he's probably doing a TikTok. Were you doing a TikTok? People want to know why you're back there talking to yourself.
He's probably thinking about
I
doing a
often
TikTok.
talk to myself.
He often talks to himself.
I do the same thing. I feel like I'm getting older and I'm
Like, if
talking to
reading an
myself
article,
more.
I often add commentary.
You're in good company, man. You know, you always know that you agree with what you're saying.
Well, you
And
should
you
talk
can-
to me,
You
to
can
myself.
give
I,
I've seen those videos.
I do not get like I do not get along
I
with
have
myself
seen those
very well.
videos, right? Yeah, you made videos of that. It's pretty funny.
Myself is mean.
We're gonna watch Kamala's speech. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing
Yeah, there's that today.
I think it was.
I haven't
yeah.
seen anything about it in my news feed, but
Yeah.
there's too much news for it to keep up anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I'm tired, man. So I got
Yeah,
a new
me-
dog bed for Angel. And if you know anything about whippets, they do not like change. And I
Really?
cannot,
Anxiety?
no matter what I do, I cannot get Angel to sleep in this dog bed.
Does
Which is
Angel
why
have a
I'm
lot of
tired,
anxiety?
Because Angel kept me up all night.
Oh,
So it's like, whippets never forget. Like if you have a whippet and you like put them in the car and they have like a bad experience, they will never forget. So Angel had this thing where he was like suckling on his bed, and it was like this kind of like faux like Sherpa material, and it's
Yeah.
it's synthetic, and he like started chewing on it and so I'm like, okay, we got to get rid of this thing. So found this amazing person on Etsy in Ukraine to make this custom bed. I was like, here's what I want, like a snoozer bed, but they're all made
Yeah.
of synthetic material. So I'm like, I want this thing in natural material, natural fibers, natural everything, and not toxic. Casey starts chewing on it and all this stuff. Incredible, this thing. Like, amazing. It like, the top zips off. You can unzip the thing.
Oh, nice.
There's an insert that comes out. You can wash
You
that.
can wash it and
so
stuff,
freaking
yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
was so stoked. Took forever to get, but amazing, and also really cool coming from Ukraine and supporting somebody
Yeah.
there. He won't sleep in it.
Because it's change.
I'm like, come on, dude. He just gets in there and then just looks at me, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. You're in your bed next to my bed, I turn
Yeah.
out the light. I go to sleep. I hear him get out. And then I'm laying there, and I can just tell he's like staring at me. Just standing next to the bed staring at me.
Yep.
He'll stand
I
there
know
for
that
20
feeling.
minutes. And then he starts to make a sound that is like a dolphin noise that lasts like a half a second. It's almost imperceptible to the human ear, but I can hear. I'm like, is he doing that?
Yes.
And
Yeah, I get
then I
that.
look over, and there he is, just looking at me, like, let me in.
Have you put like a blanket or something that
I've tried
has
everything.
a smell? Yeah.
I've tried everything.
It's just like, I know what this is. You're not gonna fool me.
So yeah, I gotta figure it out, man, because I was up till like 2 a.m. trying to get him to
I
go
get
to bed,
that.
and then he's just
I
like,
get that.
yeah, you get up at 4
Yeah.
for your dogs. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But at least your dogs have a more legit excuse. They're old and they're
Yeah. I don't know if
they
it's
got
legit, but it
issues.
is.
Yeah,
They do have issues.
Angel's
All
just
dogs have
like,
issues.
I
Though.
don't like it.
Does Angel want to be in bed with you?
Oh yeah, that's the whole goal, is to get
Yeah.
into my
That's
bed
what it is.
and then keep me
Like-
and then just like
Like,
stretch
look, I
out
don't
and
like
keep-
this thing, but where you
Totally.
are looks real nice.
Yeah, like to the point where if I give him even a little bit of space, he just plows in there. He just goes for it.
Yeah. Our little sleep in our
Angel
bed.
needs some therapy. It's true, man.
Yeah. Anxiety meds.
I got to try to figure it out. But
One of our dogs takes anxiety meds.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
does it work?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It's weird to think that's
Yeah.
the same stuff that humans take. For the most
Jimmy says our dog's opposite, loves everything new. I wish that were the case. Angel loves new toys, but not a new bed,
Yeah.
man.
part. Yeah.
Not a new bed.
Comfort
no
things, no change.
Totally. That's it. I get it.
Yeah.
So, all right,
All
man.
right.
Well, we should
It's-
wrap
it's-
this up. slow this down and
Calm the estrogen down.
calm the estrogen down. God, I'm never going to hear the end of that, man. All right, somehow. All right, people, thanks for hanging out. It's been real. It's been fun. Hope everybody has an amazing weekend and week. Until next time. We peaked when Brando and Hawk were still here.
Yeah, we knew that would happen.
We knew that would happen. One of these days they'll leave and it'll go up. You think that's possible?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's our goal, Wiseacre.
That's right. Oh,
That's our goal.
We're going to have a shtick then to get people.
Oh, thanks, Raymond. Put the new dog bed in your bed. I thought about that. That's not a bad idea. I'll try that. Yeah. But this dog is relentless and persistent. Yeah. So yeah, let's make that our goal, man, where we are all here.
We don't lose anyone, and maybe
Hawk and the guests leave, and it actually goes up. We get more viewers. That's the goal. It's an admirable goal. All right, people, we will see you next week. Let me see. Come over here and figure out how we're going to end this thing. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks, Wiseacre. Always a pleasure. Love having you here, man. Otherwise, it'd just be me hanging out. It would be like half these numbers. And, we each have a stalker, so that's nice.
That is something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to next week. Oh, you know what? I can't be here next week.
Oh, no.
I have another shoot. Maybe we'll do it another day. I have a shoot on Tuesday and Wednesday. Imagine. Good night from Australia. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Heather said estrogen club out. Oh God, man. All right. We're not going to be here next week on Wednesday, but maybe we can reschedule for Thursday, perhaps.
Sure.
Is Wiseacre on YouTube? Yes, he is. It says right there, Wiseacre Design.
I can never
right in his little. It's right over there. I can't point to it.
Right.
It's right there. Wait.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Go find Wiseacre on YouTube. Good times. Have a good week, people. Maintain your sanity. Do something that feels nice and calming and relaxing, as long as it's not harmful.
That's right.
All right, dude. I will catch you soon, man. Thanks.
Yep.
All right.
No problem.
Bye.